Welcome everyone to another edition of the Powersports Business Video Chat. My name is Dave McMahon. I'm the editor-in-chief of Powersports Business. And today we have joining us is Keith Mate from Synchrony. And Keith is actually a part of the company that's the title sponsor of the video chats. And without Synchrony's support, these things don't happen. And it's a pleasure for me to welcome Keith because I know Synchrony and Keith and I actually go back many years with their support of Powersports Business. From the Powersports dealer seminars at AIM Expo and the dealer roundtables the last couple of years, been super supportive on that front. And we got to break bread a couple of times, not bread necessarily, but got to share a couple of meals over in China at the CF Moto dealer meeting when CF Moto became a partner of Synchrony. So just wanted to have Keith, if you could, just give a quick intro about some of the products and things that you guys are offering dealers here as we head into the fourth quarter of 2020.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. And there aren't that many people that I could say I've traveled the world with, but you and I, we have done that. There is no question about it. I've actually been to China 3 times in the last 4 years. I'm glad I get a little bit of a break right now, but I'm sure there'll be other trips as soon as it's safe to do that.
Right.
Yeah, so Synchrony is a finance company who focuses on consumer finance in the powersports industry. We have a presence across the U.S. in a variety of other industries with a variety of other clients. But what we're talking about here today with Powersports Business is certainly our presence providing installment loan financing to help consumers, largely consumers, purchase a vehicle to help them, enjoy being outside.
Sure. And just coming off of our third quarter dealer survey, the finance sector has been really strong in these last 3 months. Matter of fact, the dealers say it's the strongest of all the different segments within their shop. So. And it's also the least concerning in terms we ask about what are your biggest concerns moving forward, and consumer financing is the least concern to them. So good time to be talking to you. Just I would imagine you guys are coming off some positive vibes, so to speak, here in the third quarter. What are some of the trends you guys have seen here as the pandemic sales have skyrocketed and we're seeing so many units moving out of dealership doors?
Sure, it's a good question. We started seeing activity really change about mid-April, right? I remember the day specifically. It was Friday the 13th of March. I'll remember that day, for the rest of my life, when we all got sent home. And I'll speak, for Synchrony as a company, and largely a lot of our dealers had to go home, understand, wait to see what was going to happen. And it took about 30 days for everybody to understand what role they were going to play and whether they were going to be deemed essential in the recovery of the economy. And once we got about to mid-April, we started to see activity begin to revitalize. The shelter in place rules were beginning to come out, and people began to feel like there were opportunities for them to go out and do the things that they enjoyed doing, spending time outside specifically. And so one of the benefits that we offer is, we are essentially working with dealers to help consumers affordably budget for these recreational activities and hobbies that they relied on, whether they've relied on them recently, or it was something that they used to do when they were a kid, or something that they enjoyed when they were on vacation, or with friends. They were hadn't owned a vehicle before, but they felt motivated to do so. And so we offer installment loans that frankly give consumers the ability to budget. They can enjoy some flexible term lengths. They can design their monthly payment to a certain extent that allows them to fall within the budget that they've set out for. And these things will lead to convenient fixed monthly payments. And I think the most important part is we're in this uncertain time is they can leave their revolving credit lines open for unexpected life expenses. And we're all sitting here today trying to make sure that we can support our families and do the things that we need to keep our lives moving forward. And the installment loan that we rely on and that we offer to our customers is designed to really sit nicely as a budget tool to help them afford the kind of product that they want to buy, as well as the things that they need to use that product.
Right. Yeah, that sounds like a great tool for the dealer to have in their toolbox to be able to offer that consumer. And which is just like, are your volumes here in the last 3, 4, 5 months? Are you seeing just an increase in just the amount of actual deals you guys are doing?
Yeah, we have enjoyed the momentum that the industry has undertaken over the last, I guess it's 6 months now. Mm-hmm. It's interesting. Is one of the things that we feel very proud of is our response to this, and I say that because as a company, Synchrony, a couple thousand employees in the United States, everybody is working from home. 100% of our employee base in the United States is working from home. And we've been able to continue to offer instant decisions on credit applications. We've been able to maintain our credit strategies. We've been able to offer dealers funding in as quick as 24 hours, right? This is critical for these small businesses to keep working capital flowing so they can stay open. Right. And we've through all of the solid momentum that this industry has brought with it over the last 6 months, by sticking with what the value that we've become accustomed to delivering to the dealers, it's actually given us more credibility within the dealer community, and more dealers are starting to rely on us because we've been able to commit to them that we can help through this velocity that keeps accelerating. And so now we're in October, and I know you've had a number of articles that talk about inventory challenges, replenishing the supply chain. While we aren't necessarily seeing everybody mass to the dealers and buy things because there's just not a lot to buy, we've retained that stickiness for those dealers that had begun to use us more through the spring. And we're really trying to harness those relationships and give them the confidence that we're here to stay.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'm sure that reflects on our dealer survey, like I mentioned earlier. There's it definitely is a change from the past couple of surveys. So hopefully that's definitely been a contributing factor to it. One thing I do want to tell you, I'm right here in front of my window at home, so I don't have the light flickering. It is the clouds here in this glorious Minnesota afternoon. Sorry about the lighting gaffe there, but just want to ask you too. So we talk about all these. We see the numbers about the new units leaving the shop too. But how does on the survey the dealers are also just equally impressed with the pre-owned units also going out the door? You've seen some videos from some of the dealers that have submitted to us over the last couple of months where it doesn't matter if it's new or used, the showroom floor is barren. Obviously now that's coming back to life, but what are some of the pre-owned offerings that you guys have from Synchrony?
Yeah, no, thanks, Dave. Pre-owned is a critical part of our business as well, largely because of what dealers tell us is critical to them. And so we've been financing pre-owned for quite some time. Generally, we go back about 7 years. to include in our programs. And it has been a very important part of our business, and actually so important that we changed our strategy just a little bit, and we launched a program last year called Synchrony Secured Installment that allows us to finance a little bit more than 50 different OEMs a used product. Now, clearly that extends a bit beyond Powersports, because we found that there's a lot of utility in a couple different industries that are adjacent. Some of our dealers take trade in a lot of different types of collateral, and we want to support them in all those ways, as many as we can. And so what we call the SSI program, or the Synchrony Secure Installment Program, is available to virtually all the Powersports dealers to enroll in and take advantage of a lot of those, that great flexibility to help support their business and propel new units. That's what we really want to emphasize. But we know that sometimes you can't sell a new unit if you don't sell the used unit too. And so that's what that's there to support.
Well, that's fantastic news. Hopefully dealers are staying on top of that and asking you a lot more questions about the pre-owned offerings you guys have. Keith, finally, just to wrap up and not take a lot of your time out of your day or our listeners here. So if you took like your top performing Synchrony dealers, whatever that number might be, just of the actual rooftops, what is it about them and those dealerships and their staff and F&I departments, and just overall, what is it that sets them apart as a Synchrony partner versus some who might not be capitalizing as much, or taking advantage of the tools that you guys offer? What is it those top performers are doing that sets them apart with us?
Yeah, thanks, Dave. And don't worry about the time. I'm just sitting here at my dining room table, right? This is the new Synchrony office for me. So I got no place to go except to go make dinner about 4 feet over there. We spend a lot of time talking to all of our dealers. And that includes, those that we consider to be strategic to some of our decision making. The benefit of our organization is that our underwriting teams are talking to, in some case, thousands of dealers a day, and every time we talk to a dealer, we get a lot of great feedback. But the word that I'll use is listening. I think we're regularly pulsing dealers for feedback. What's happening every day? What's happening? How are your consumers changing their behaviors? How are you changing your behaviors? And the best way that we've been able to articulate the top performers, it's really those dealers that are able to listen to their customers and figure out what type of customer they have in front of them. What type of budget concerns do they have? How much PG&A do they need? Are they really looking to soup up the vehicle, and is bolt-ons a big part of their purchase? When we talk to dealers, we understand in large part there's the 5 different profit centers, and it's our intent to try and help them maximize all 5. And the way that we've designed our advanced structure allows dealers to do business the way that they do business and maximize the affordability and the budget that their customers have, to have those customers leave that dealership with what they came there to buy. Mm-hmm. And frankly, if they came to buy something and ended up with something else or more, in large part, our advanced structure is designed to support that.
Sure. Yeah.
And the best dealers, or the dealers where we see the most activity from, or that engage with us the most often, spend a considerable amount of time listening and trying to craft a solution that solves for what that customer needs to be successful in that shopping experience. And they trust Synchrony to deliver on that for them.
Cool. That's a fantastic. And since we do have a little bit of time here, I'm also only about 4 feet away from my kitchen, so dinner can wait. But you brought up the parts and accessories, and you'll read a lot about that in Powersports Business, obviously. I don't know if you're seeing any trends, or when a customer, or I should say, when the dealer is selling the unit and bringing up that idea of financing all the different, I'm thinking side by sides now, but whether it's bags on a bike or anything for watercraft or snowmobiles, so many different, so much money can be made from a dealership level on the accessories, parts and accessories sales, especially at the time of purchase.
Yeah.
What do you guys are you seeing? I don't know, just from your data, those kind of trend or those lines increasing, or maybe the capital increasing?
We are. So, frequently our loans cover more than just the vehicle cost.
Yep.
I'd say more often than not. When you think about the trends that we've all been witnessing over the last 6 months, they largely revolve around families making changes to their decision making to do more together. And if you're a first-time buyer of a side-by-side and you got a family of 4 like I do, well, that my family is not going to like it very much if I show up at home with a cool new side-by-side and only clothes for me, and a helmet for me, only stuff for me. So if you're going to show up with a 4-seater, you got to show up with gear for 4, right? And if you're going to begin to experience or take advantage of being outside with your family, getting out and trying to break that monotony of being inside, you're going to need gear. And we're seeing a large amount of our loan activity is taking all of that into consideration. And like I said, doing our very best to meet the sale of what they've designed. Because we very much recognize that a lot of these activities, a lot of this recreation is not done individually or solo, and requires a lot more flexibility to allow them to enjoy this product or these products in the way that they want to.
Yeah, but I can imagine, again, based on the data that we're seeing coming in, that dealers are certainly taking more advantage of the Synchrony offerings. And again, appreciate you guys stepping in here for these last couple of weeks, or excuse me, last couple of months here with the sponsorship of the PSB video chats. We're getting some great response from it. And again, Synchrony goes back with Powersports Business for years and years with their support. So again, Keith, appreciate you taking the time and for Synchrony's support, and hopefully, whether it's in China or elsewhere, hopefully be able to run into you again soon.
I'm looking forward to it, Dave. My hope is that everybody can stay safe and do their part to get us back to normal as quickly and responsibly as we can. I, for one, am really looking forward to getting out of my dining room and getting back on the road. So we're really excited about the prospects of the industry. We're, as a business, as a group within Synchrony, we're doing our best to stay engaged with our dealers and OEM partners and consumers. And we're really looking forward to getting through this and to continue to enjoy the time outside and delivering for everybody in the industry.
Fantastic, Keith. Again, thanks again for taking the time with us, and thanks everybody for giving us a watch. And we'll be back with another Powersports Business video chat sponsored by Synchrony in the near future. Thanks again, and have a good day.
Thank you.